Hey there, Trinity United Methodist Church. Pastor Rob here. In this video, I wanted to share with you some important updates and some safety protocols for those of you that are planning to return to in-person worship beginning Sunday, November the 15th. I'm pleased to tell you that our district superintendent has approved our plan to return to worship on Sunday, November the 15th. So in this video, I'll be walking through some of the things that you'll need to do before you come and some of the safety protocols that you'll need to adhere to when you arrive here at the church. The first thing that you will need to do is some of the things that will happen before you even come to church. Obviously, if you are sick, not feeling well in any way, whether that's just sniffles or sore throat or anything like that, we do ask that you stay home and that we just not take any chances, even if you think it's just allergies. If you're just not feeling well, just play it safe and make it safe for everybody else and stay home. We also would ask that before you come to church for worship, that you would take your temperature. You do a temperature check, and if it is 100.3 or less, that you are safe to come, but if it is 100.4 or more, that you would indeed stay home. Again, just erring on the side of being safe. One of the things that we're asking as you come so that we can maintain social distance and be at the capacity that we need to be at in terms of our worship space is that you would actually make a reservation before you come, that you would let us know. And we're asking that you do that by Friday. And you'll be receiving more information about how to do that via email and via letter. But there's going to be a couple of different ways that you can do that. You can certainly call the church and let us know, either talk to Lori or I, or just leave a message on the church answering service. You can also, we'll have a web form, a Google web form that will be available, that we'll probably make available each week, and our Trinity News Blast that you can just go ahead and fill out and let us know that you are coming. Along with that, and there's going to be a couple of different ways that you can do this, is that everybody has to answer those health questions. Now you say, what health questions are you talking about? I'm talking about the health questions that you would typically receive maybe when you went to the doctor and as you registered at the doctor or the dentist, and they ask you, of course, if you've been sick, if you've been around somebody that has been sick, somebody that's been diagnosed with COVID, those types of questions. About 3 or 4 simple questions that everyone is asked. It's called our health acknowledgement form. And so you can do that in one of 2 ways. And the first way I'm going to share with you right now, and that is that you can do that and fill that out online. I'll be sharing a link for that. So if you want to fill that out online and send that to us, we keep all that information confidential, so you don't have to worry about us sharing that information, but we will have an online form to fill out the health acknowledgement form. So that's a little bit about some of the things that you need to do before you even come to church. When you get here and you come to church and you pull in the parking lot, what you are going to see is that there's going to be some spaces as usual, and those places that you have parked before, both in front of the church. Remember, we have the lot behind the church, and we're also now allowed to park in the real estate office. We've received permission to be able to do that. But as you pull into the parking lot, whatever parking lot it is you choose to use, there will be some spots that are marked with orange cones. Why are we marking them with orange cones? We're attempting to just create some distance between cars so that when folks are getting in and out of cars, they're not exactly close to each other. They're maintaining that 6 foot of distance. What we are asking is that from the time that you leave your car until the time you get back into your car, that you would don your face mask. Face masks will be required. And so if you're not able to do that or you object to that, I certainly understand that some of you don't feel that you should have to wear a face mask, but for our purposes here and for the protocols that we have to operate under that have come down from the conference, we are required to wear face masks throughout our time together. So when you get out of your car, if you just put on that face mask, we'd sure appreciate that. There'll be a parking lot greeter that will be out there that will show you and direct you. And if you happen to forget your face mask as you get out of your car, I've done that plenty of times going into a store, they'll just gently remind you, hey, to please get your face mask. So once you get out of your car, we're asking everybody to use the same entrance when you come into the church. And so the entrance that we are going to be using for everybody is the front entrance of the church, the one that is with the portico, the one that is on the Route 3 side of the church. If you are physically unable to navigate that for some reason, you can go in the side door. But again, we'd ask that, if at all possible, that we would all use the, the same entrance, which is at the front of the church. As you approach the front of the church, under the portico is going to be our welcome desk. And you'll go to the welcome desk, of course, still having your mask on. There'll be a servant there at the welcome desk. They're going to check you in. If you just give them your name, they'll match your name against the names that we have that have registered for worship for that morning. And after you do that, if you have not already filled out one of those health acknowledgement forms and sent it in to us, then that person there will simply ask you to acknowledge your answers to those questions. We'll have a poster board with those questions. Just a real simple process. It'll just take a minute. After you do that, then they're just going to give you a squirt of the hand sanitizer so that everyone has clean hands when they're coming in, and you'll be able to come in to the sanctuary. Once you get inside the sanctuary, there's going to be an usher here, and they are going to seat you here in the sanctuary. What they'll be doing is seating folks from the front of the sanctuary to the back. We're just trying to minimize the amount of passing by that we have to do amongst each other, just again to stay on the safe side. Obviously, if you come with your family that you have been around this whole time, you're more than welcome to sit with your family. Just let the usher know we're sitting as a family, and they will be seating you in the appropriate spots, about 6 feet away from each other. We'll be seating every other pew. It is important to remember when you come, and this will be harder for some of you who like to give hugs and handshakes and those types of things. We ask that you just not do that. Of course, one of the ways of transmission is through touch. And so please, we're asking you, as hard as it is, especially in these first Sundays when we haven't seen each other for a long time, not to give hugs, that you just refrain from that. You refrain from shaking hands and from any other type of touching like that. Certainly more than welcome to talk to each other, but as you do that, if you just maintain that 6 foot of distance, and of course, as I said earlier, just have your mask on, we would sure appreciate that. As you worship will look a little bit different as you've experienced it in the past. We're not going to be able to sing. That is one of the protocols that we will be operating with. So there won't be any singing. We will have some instrumental music. It's not going to be 3 hymns. It might probably just be 1 hymn and prelude and those types of things. We're not going to be passing the offering plate around, again, trying to minimize that touch. And so we'll have the offering plate located at the exit, and as you exit the church, you can go ahead and put your offering in that offering plate. We will have communion on the first Sunday of every month. We'll be serving communion through a self-contained little package that has juice and a wafer on top. And we'll invite you to pick that up on your way out, just as we'll invite you to give your offering on the way out. And then once you get outside, you are welcome to open that communion and to receive it, maintaining social distance, or open it in your car and receive it. One of the other changes that you will notice is that we won't have any hymnals. Actually, we've taken out most everything that we would pass around or touch inside of the sanctuary itself. You'll notice that the pew cushions are gone. And so if that's going to be an issue for you, you are more than welcome to bring a cushion from home if that helps you. We invite you to do that. I would let you know that the service will not be as long as a typical 1-hour service. It will be abbreviated. And so we're looking at a 30 to 45-minute service. And so, but you are welcome to bring a pew cushion from home. There won't be any Bibles in the pew racks. And so if you want to bring your Bible, please bring your Bible from home. And of course, we're just trying to minimize the passing of different items and the touching of different items. I would let you know that the church is going to be cleaned weekly. We'll have a deep clean of the whole church before we return to in-person worship. We have a cleaner lined up to do that, and then those cleaners are going to come every week and sanitize the high-touch areas inside the sanctuary, clean the bathrooms. We'll have restrooms open. We do ask that you would minimize the restroom use. Again, just trying to minimize that foot traffic and that passing to and from as we go, that you would use the restroom before you come if you can, but of course we recognize that it doesn't always work out that way. So if you have to use the restrooms will be open, but please try not to, the best that you can. When the service is over, the usher will come, and please just remain in your seat, and then the usher will dismiss you. And then we will make our way throughout the exit that we're asking everybody to use. And so in a moment, I'm going to move and kind of show you that flow, and so that you'll get an idea of it. And so after you've been dismissed by the usher, you'll simply make your way here and exit out the back to the old fellowship hall. As always, you'll watch your step as a little bit of an incline. As you make your way out here, we're going to use the side door here in the back to exit. And again, we're trying to get everyone to use the same exit. But we will have a table set up with the offering plate on it. And so if you choose to make an offering in that way, you can use the offering plate to do that. We'll also have some hand sanitizer that will be near that offering plate. And so you can just get a squirt of hand sanitizer as you exit the worship space and exit the church. And so I want to let you know that we will be continuing to have an online service. We will actually continue to record on Thursdays. We will have music, and so you'll be able to sing at home. And so it's important for me to say before we end this video that if you don't feel safe coming, please know that is okay. Please don't feel compelled to come and to worship. We want you to be first and foremost safe. And for some of you, the best decision might be to not come at this time, but to wait until a later time. I want to clearly say to you that it won't make you less of a Christian. No one here will think less of you. But we do want to give the option to folks that do want to come and to worship in person to be able to do that in a safe and responsible way. So thank you so much for taking the time to watch the video today, and look for more information that we will be sharing both via email as well as by letter. Thank you so much. Take care. God bless.